Hey guys, welcome back to yet another video, and this one's going to cover the age-old question that I think every artist gets quite a bit if they put their stuff online, and that's brushes. What sort of brush do I use? Maybe some sort of settings, and I'm just going to talk about that today. So we're going to zoom in on the Clone Trooper that I recently finished for the video just before this one, and we're going to open up the Brushes tab, and now you guys see 95% of the brush that I use already selected. It's the round brush. And the reason that I like it is, well, I'll show you. So we have that selected. I keep the brush settings at default, and I made sure that they were default. You can adjust the settings by, I think you click on it again. Yeah, there you go. And then you have the pressure, sensitivity, tilt, and all that. But since I'm painting with my finger on an older iPad, I don't have the luxury of having the pressure and tilt settings. So we're just keeping it stock, essentially. Now, here we have the size slider and the opacity slider. I tend to keep my slider a lot lower. So whenever I'm sketching, the reason to keep it lower is, let's make sure we're on the right layer here so it's not awkward. I'm going to create a new one. So for the sketch, I tend to use a smaller stroke with a lighter opacity because I like to block in my shapes really messy. You know, none of it is clean. And the reason for that is, you know, you can always go back and kind of make adjustments and clean up, but just to get an initial sketch, just getting the idea down, you know, or looking for inspiration, that's a quick way of doing it. And when I'm painting backgrounds or something like that, you know, I might use a much bigger brush and go in with, yet again, a lower opacity so I can slowly build up layers. So this brush is great for that. And one of the main reasons why I like to use it for so many things is it's textured. You see that it's not completely smooth. And having a little bit of this roughness within the original brush itself allows you to kind of play off of these characteristics, and you can use, you know, these imperfections to for example, blend a little bit cleaner. I'll show you, if you're using an airbrush with, say, hard edges, it's very easy to see where you attempted to blend. You know, you see these lines, the in-betweens, you have these strokes. So when you're grabbing, you know, the in-between colors, trying to blend is just a bit more of a pain than with the round brush that I tend to use. Nico rule brush is also pretty cool. Obviously, a lot of these have, you know, their own kind of use, but this one, you see that it's just a bit softer, and the opacity is kind of low, and you can go really low for the blending portions, you know, but the sketching and stuff, I keep it at like in the high 20s. And if you also want to blend, somebody asked me about the blend tool. I tend to not use it, but you see how I was using that other brush, which made it difficult to blend without using a blender, but with a blender, it kind of, you get in there and it gets all smooth. So that's mainly the brush that I use. However, we have extras, and if you go into spray paint, you can, let me delete this this scribble. In the spray paint, you have this kind of scatter effect. If you put down some of this stuff, you can stretch it out. Actually, the way that you want to do it is, we'll take it off of magnet. So you can have, you know, a waterfall or something. So there's ways, oh, whoops, I'm getting text, my bad. But there's ways of, oh man, I'm sidetracked now. But there's ways of adjusting the brushes so that they make sense and they work for you. There's another good one. I think under elements, you got driven snow. It's perfect for just that, you know, driving snow. If you click and hold the corner, you can warp the transformation of the object in a specific direction, and you can zoom the sides in and stuff. So now you've got snow that's, you know, falling sideways. So these brushes are great for that, and I definitely use them, but just rarely because I don't always draw snow. Clouds are a nice one, but honestly, these clouds are very, they look like they're, made with a brush. Yeah, they can get pretty soft, and then if you want to build up a little bit of form, you use a lighter color at the top, and you leave that darker color on the bottom to kind of indicate that light is hitting the top. So yeah, there's definitely a use for them. It's just not something that it's not my go-to. So most of the stuff I kind of like to work it the hard way. The water brushes I think are a little bit too fake. I'm pretty sure the flame one is kind of strange too. Maybe if you pick the right color, but I don't know how that is supposed to look like flame. I sometimes use the airbrushes. They're nice for really soft, maybe animals or some sort of scenes where you need a really light touch. So that's another good one, and that's the soft airbrush. I almost don't touch any of the other ones. The sketching ones, I also tend to stay away from most of them. The technical pencil, I guess, isn't too bad. I've imported a few brushes, but honestly, I never touch them anymore. That's my phone again. Sorry about that. Okay, so just a reminder, round brush. It's good. Use it. It works for me. That's what I did this piece with, and many, many others. You just, when you need to put down, a sharp highlight, let's say you go to the white, drop that pick up that opacity and drop that size, and then bam, you have yourself a really light highlight. Then you can drop the opacity down, color pick, a gray that isn't too intense, and you kind of just smooth it out, and you play it by what feels right, and that's how I tend to do things. So hopefully that was somewhat educational. Honestly, it doesn't come down to the tools. They help, but it's all about kind of the knowledge, the practice, and putting these tools to work. You can technically use a screwdriver to hit a nail into the wood if you just hold it by the skinny side. So tools can do multiple things. It's kind of like your creativity and your approach to them. So I hope that was informative. I'm going to be back hopefully sometime soon with more videos. I'm starting a full-time job soon, so maybe I won't have as much time. But maybe that'll kind of help motivate me to even make more videos and be less lazy. But that's the goal. All right, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you had a good one, and hope you keep having a good one. Here's a showcase of some pieces that I never finished, but we'll talk about that later. Here's this one. I have footage of this, but I haven't posted it because I probably want to finish it before I upload it. Anyways, that's a little sneak peek for you. All right, I'm done spoiling you guys. Have a good day.